Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. Zero diamonds, zero.
Thank you for tapping into the Exclusive Minds podcast. Today we're going to be having an exclusive conversation with exclusive content from Exclusive Minds. I'm your host, Rook, and
Joe.
let's get right into it.
Yo. Welcome back to episode 24. This is our second take yet again because our recording equipment seems to like to fritz out on me every time. It's kind of annoying, but
This is the ASMR episode. You guys are going to be hearing me eat cheese, a variety of cheeses.
cheese and Triscuits.
Yeah, cheese and Triscuits.
Those things are loud, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't have too much. I mean, I was traveling this week, so
Oh, no, don't worry. I got this, Joe. You know, I put us on the back as always. No, that's all good.
I know. I always say this, and then I end up talking for like an
know.
hour and stuff like that. But so I do want to give a little bit of a coffee update.
Oh, shoot. What's up?
So fabulous experience traveling this week. I was last week I was in Tampa. Last week I was in Tampa and Greenville, South Carolina, and managed to get out to a couple of both Starbucks as well as some local independents. And man, two fabulous experiences. I know last time I was kind of bitching that the coffee quality at some of these independents was terrible, and I'm definitely convinced at this point that that's all because I was buying nitro, and that shit probably just sits in the keg for a long time, and kind of just goes a little bit sideways. Because this time I didn't order any nitro at all. I was totally banning nitro this week, so I was doing just regular coffees, cappuccinos, cafe. I guess they were more like macchiatos, stuff like that. But fabulous,
Good.
Absolutely fabulous.
Did you drink it with cream? Black.
So I mean, it was whipped. A couple of times it was whipped milk, and
Gotcha,
so
right.
a little bit of both. But so just shout out to Tampa-based La Segunda. And if you're in Tampa, you're probably going, I don't need some dude to be telling me about this place. It's legendary. So apparently it's a Cuban
a big deal.
cafe, bakery, coffee place that really, really, really good. So if you're in Tampa, check them out. And then Greenville, it was underground coffee right downtown. Also really good. So
I always have my reserves whenever we were out to eat the other day. We went to Azteca in Kennett, the Mexican restaurant, and I always have my reserves about ordering coffee at places like that because it's probably for the most part that's not what they specialize in.
No.
So I'm not even gonna order it because I figure it's just probably just like Minute Maid coffee. You know what I mean? Just like nothing special. But I always like to enjoy a nice cup of coffee after a meal.
You never know. I mean, restaurants are all different. Some places take pride in coffees and others don't.
Right.
And you like any of the Italian places we used to go to always seem to be like on the bomb when it comes to coffee.
You know who actually has a fabulous cappuccino? Anthony's Cold Stone. They do it official. They have that little what is that? The sugar stick and everything. You know what I'm
You're talking
talking
about the pizza place.
The pizza
coal-fired-
place.
Wow.
Yeah. They actually have a pretty good. They're pretty on point with their. I guess it's cappuccino. I don't really know what
maybe
it
it's
is.
an Italian thing.
Yeah, who
'Cause,
knows?
I mean, that's Anthony's and stuff. I'm assuming it's Italian.
If I remember correctly, you were into wrestling at one point or recently or something like that, right?
Wrestling, as in
old
WWE or
yeah.
F or whatever the hell it is nowadays.
Mhm.
Sure.
Did you catch the WrestleMania that just happened?
No, I haven't watched wrestling in, I don't know, years.
Okay. All right. Well, there was WrestleMania that just happened, and our good old conversation starter, Logan Paul, he was actually on there wearing a 1-of-1 Pokemon card. It was like a PSA grade 10 Pikachu of some sort.
Oh, he's wearing it around his neck?
He was wearing it around
Is
his neck.
like
It was
necklace?
like a $5.3 million card.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And with that card, he actually announced his new company, which is I forget what it's called. I think it's Liquid Marketplace. I could be wrong. But it's essentially like a place for collectors to go. And you can buy stake in collector's items. So let's say you have that one.
So this isn't new. There's a company called Rally that does this.
That does that?
Same exact thing.
Okay.
And I it's funny because I mean I obviously used to collect comic books and a bunch of stuff. A lot of what we'll call e-liquid assets, right? Something you can't just take to the corner store and cash in for cash, right? You got to sell it to somebody else, and it's a whole, it takes a process. But so yeah, they do the same thing. And I was actually watching, I don't know what it was, Pawn Stars or something like that, and he bought a copy of the Declaration of Independence for $2 million.
Yeah.
And this guy, the rally guy, bought it, and that's exactly what it is. So, like, say the Declaration of Independence that they bought was like $2 million.
You can buy
fractions
of it or percentages of it.
They put out like whatever it is, 12,000 shares or 80,000 shares at like $25 a piece, and then you own a fractional share of that. And then I was like looking at some of the reviews, and it's one of those things where like people are like, yeah, like he only paid $1.4 million for it, but he valued it at $2 million.
Okay.
So that's how they're making their money.
They kind of upscaled it,
and
right?
then they have no real mechanism to. So as the price of something increases, like, obviously the whole point of that is just like art, right? You're hoping that it goes up in money. The problem is, I guess, if you buy into a fractional share of like a Batman #1, that's $1 million, right? And a year later, that comic's now worth $1.5 million, right? They have no mechanism in the system to kind of raise the value. It's only what people are willing to pay. So
I see what you're saying. Right.
And it's such a small number. I mean, small number in the sense that, if you look at stocks, it's, there's billions of shares of Apple, right? Like with this thing, there's say it's 12,000 shares, right? So if you try to sell it, there's only a small audience, and then so it's buy and demand, right? It's supply side. So if there's only so many people that are interested in buying it, right? You have a hard time recouping what it's actually worth.
For sure.
So a lot of bad press, and this is the exact same thing, I'm sure.
No, right. I think so. His approach was he's doing more like Pokemon cards. I think he had like a couple basketball cards, and he had NFTs on there. Like we're talking
this place has NFTs too.
Do they really?
It's funny that I swear
it just came out with the WrestleMania, because that's what it was. Like he got like a big press thing with the WrestleMania stuff, wearing it, and like he was just like, all right, let me roll out this company with it. But yeah, it's literally exactly that. So like if we wanted to own a Bored Ape, we would only have to pay like you said, like probably $25.
Yeah, but you don't,
not really own it. But
I get it. I mean,
it's the same thing as like owning an Amazon share. Like when you own one share, you're not gonna be like, oh, I own Amazon. You own a share, right? So
yeah. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing that I've heard is a negative to that. I mean, it's a cool concept. I mean, let's face facts, right? I mean, most of us aren't going to be able to buy a Bored Ape, or most of us aren't going to be able to buy a $5 million Pokemon card, and there's potentially value in those increasing, just like art. But the big problem, like I said, is unlike Amazon or Apple stock, where if you need to sell it today, you're going to be able to sell it instantly, right? On the stock exchange, there's liquidity, right? With this kind of stuff,
you have to get like a number of people's approval, I think, as well. Like you have to get a couple green lights before selling it. You know what I mean?
It's not easy to take the money you put in and get it back out with profit. Apparently.
I would imagine so. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't know. It seems like a cool concept, but like you said, like how profitable could that really be? Especially if you're splitting all that cost amongst, thousands of people.
At the end of the day, I think it's kind of an interesting way for Paul or whoever owns the company to kind of have flex, and in his house he's got all these like $1 million collectibles that he doesn't really own. I don't know, man. It's just it's an interesting concept, and I'm sure it could gain attention from some other, like some real banks where you can actually start to get some liquidity and stuff like that. But who knows? I mean, it's because most of us will never be able to afford like an Action Comics #1 or whatever it might be.
Yeah, no. So he was in WrestleMania 2 as well, and he was doing some moves. I saw he, I don't know what it's called, but he got.
Well, he was a wrestler, right? Wasn't he? A wrestler?
Yeah. He was a wrestler. He was like a really good wrestler. I think maybe like a D1 wrestler in college or something. I don't know. He was really, really good. But he got Rey Mysterio, and like I don't know, people were like always like busting his balls about it because he was like beating up on like the top guys. But no, so
didn't he get knocked out or something by the Miz or something?
At the end he got backstabbed by the Miz. I mean, hey, I honestly, I think wrestling is dope for the sense that he said like he went out there and you could be like a showman. Like it's not like boxing where you're kind of like more locked in on like I gotta get the W here. Yeah. Like wrestling's more like you're going out there performing like an art, like almost how you would see on Broadway. And I think people undervalue the amount of athleticism it takes to be like a wrestler. Like you think, oh, it's all staged. Like no, you're doing like actual moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that ever. I'm sure there were people that question.
Well, they say it's all fake. You know what I mean? It's not.
It's fake in the sense that it's predetermined who's going to win. But yeah, no way, man. If you ever watched wrestling, right? Those dudes are doing some legit crazy shit.
So while WrestleMania was on, there was a bunch of clips of like stuff that went wrong, and I saw a clip from Brock Lesnar. He was doing like a flip off the top rope and landed directly on his head. Dude.
Yeah.
Imagine, he got to be what? Probably pushing almost like 250, 300 pounds.
Yep.
Imagine all that body weight just on one person's neck, dude. I could not imagine. That is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there hasn't been like far more serious
Like a
injuries
catastrophic
is really, I mean, it's a testament to how good these guys really are. Because,
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you think about that, right? I mean, even jumping off the top rope, you're still, I mean, 6 feet
Yeah,
in
right.
the air, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like jumping off a ladder. Like, think about it. Just go out in your backyard, climb up on the top of a ladder, and jump on top of your buddy, right?
Yeah.
And try not to kill him. And I don't recommend doing it, but I mean, it's pretty impressive.
No, for sure. And then there was one of, sorry for the people that don't really know wrestling. I mean, I kind of got into it a little
Everybody knows wrestling.
Okay.
Come
Well, there
on.
was one
At least
of,
knows about it. So.
Ryback, and it was, he picked up CM Punk, and he just like threw him on.
Wait. So okay, so
He threw him on cement.
CM Punk is back wrestling with.
No, this is old clips. We're talking about old clips. Yeah,
okay,
no.
all right. About to say, I'm like, wait a second.
No,
I
CM
just-
Punk, he went to the UFC for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah,
got
and
like
he got his
completely
ass
dogged.
whooped.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he had 3 fights and got rocked at
Yeah.
all 3 of them or
But-
whatever, and then I thought he went. He might have gone back, but
He went, no. He went to the other competitor.
wrestler.
I forget what it is. AEW or
yeah, something like that.
But anyway, Ryback threw him off and just completely he landed on like cement, and he was like, dude, it's like he intentionally did that. And he went backstage. He's like, tell me that you're a dumbass right now because you threw me off.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy shit.
No, another thing, I guess, while we're on the topic, I guess, of stock shares, you had to have seen Elon's big purchase over the week.
Yeah, holy mackerel. Yeah.
Dude, that guy's a boss, man. So for the people that don't know, Elon Musk owns the biggest share of Twitter, which is about like, I think 9% or whatever.
Yeah.
But during purchasing that, I heard he got in trouble because he didn't disclose the time of purchase. I think you're supposed to do it within like 48 hours, and or something in a partnership, right?
Yeah, I don't
But he didn't do it, and the reason he didn't do it is because when he got in, it was at like $39 or so. I don't know if these are like these are just estimates.
it went up like $10 a share. After
It went up to
announced.
$50 after that.
You know, this probably rarely happens because people don't normally buy 5% of a company because you're talking billions of dollars, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, this guy
so
got
this
money.
guy's like, he is legit the king, right? So I think after you get the 5%, you have to disclose everything you do, and I don't know. It's just, but it is funny, man.
Yeah,
and
no. He always is joking on Twitter. Like, I just saw his tweet yesterday. He was like, "I'm gonna change the name of Twitter without the W, so it'd be Titter." He's like, bro, like this guy's a billionaire. He's like making jokes like this.
I know, and he's talking. And it's billions of dollars, man. And
Yeah.
He's just rocking it. It's
for
cool.
sure. No, I mean, yeah, I saw that one of his first things he wants to do is add an edit button.
Yep,
like
I
that'd be
did
pretty
see that.
sick. And then this got me also thinking because I just watched.
Instagram doesn't have an edit button either, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Do they? Because
For the comments or for your caption?
yeah,
Yeah, they do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to because I'm like,
Yeah.
Where the hell's the edit button?
I know, but it's funny because Twitter, it's like its main purpose is text, so you would think that would be their main thing that they would focus on. I don't know. I guess it's like because the big thing that I think with Twitter not adding the edit button is, let's say a tweet blows up, gets 200,000 likes, 200,000 whatever retweets, and then like a company texts you and like, hey, we're gonna pay you $2,000 for you to put an ad in your tweet. You could just edit the tweet and then put their company thing, and a bunch of people, see like, hey, we, this was not the original retweet we wanted. Now it's all of a sudden it's, changed. So maybe there'll be like a time, like a sweet spot of like 2 hours or maybe an hour or something. I honestly don't know, but. I watched the Joe Rogan episode, and they were talking about insider trading with, so I guess in the case of Elon Musk, that wouldn't be considered like insider trading, but they were talking about how like Nancy Pelosi had like insider trading on Tesla, like before when Joe Biden's signing the Electric Cars Act, he wanted to like change every car or whatever.
Yep.
But apparently there was like what do they call it? Like what I don't even know what like an accusation, you know what I'm talking about, that she bought like a bunch of it right before, like the day before.
Well, she didn't, but her husband or something.
Right, you know what I mean? So it's like,
come on, I mean, we all know this shit happens all the time.
So
I mean,
it's like,
look.
should politicians be allowed to buy stocks during their term, or should it go into like a cold wallet, or what do you think the deal is with that?
I thought that they weren't allowed to, or they had to fully disclose. See, I mean, there's so many freaking loopholes and bullshit. Like, okay, she can't buy stocks, but her husband apparently can.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just because I mean, it happens. I mean, it happens on the Republican and the Democrat side. So this isn't like one of those. This should be a bipartisan kind of thing. I mean, it just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, because
those people all have insight. I mean, they're all on these committees that dictate policy. The policy has direct impact, right? So if they're giving away free money for electric cars, that shit's going to help,
boost the stock of Tesla, right?
Right.
I mean,
that was the theory.
She discloses it in the beginning of the year, I feel like, because she put out a number of things. Like she bought into Disney, Roblox, but like for some of them, she's just been completely wrong with. So like I don't know if like that was intentional. Like I saw the Roblox thing is like she bought into the IP of it or something along those lines, and it's not been performing that well. But if you look at their salary, she's only getting paid a couple $100,000 per year, and her net worth is like over $200 million. So it's like, bro, how the heck, like where's this coming from?
Like that? I
mean, it's insane. So
I mean, Biden's been a career politician, right? So the guy's never made more than 100 or 200 grand a year, and yet he's got 100 or he's got houses down in Delaware. I mean, look, it's all freaking swampy. The whole shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We could changing topics. Gears.
So I mean, I know we're kind of getting down the political rat hole, and I'm not actually going to go any further with it, but I was actually looking at the rankings for podcasts on Apple and Spotify, and it's like the top 10 are all political podcasts.
Are they?
Yeah,
well,
for the
because
most
it's something,
part, right? And I'm like, man, it's the topic du jour, man. Everybody you just can't get away from it.
Everyone has an opinion about it.
I know,
man. It's like
crazy.
It is wild. I mean, just like how we saw it a couple weeks ago with the whole Will Smith stuff. Like everyone has an opinion. Oh, he's right, he's wrong. Like everyone has an opinion with it.
I don't know. Maybe to be successful in podcasting, you have to do a political podcast.
Yeah, we just got to start clickbaiting, man. I'm gonna say that, man. We just got to start clickbaiting. Oh my God, can't believe he said this. Whatever.
Well, it was funny. I didn't do this intentionally, but I think it might have been the last episode or 2 episodes ago. You know how you always have to put in like the headline of what the podcast is, and I usually just take a couple of the bullet points. And the way it read, it almost sounded like we had Yeezy on the
Yeezy
podcast.
Talks or something like that.
It was like Yee comes on. I forget how they were. It wasn't intentional. Like I didn't even think about it. And then after I posted it, I was like, oh wow, the way that reads, it almost sounds like he's on our podcast.
The way that I look at it is like if it's not hurting a person's brand image and it's not interfering, go for it. But you read some of these ones on the news or like what do they have, like the Inside magazine? It'd be like a picture of like, let's say Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Oh my God, they're having a kid, or like something like completely like out of unorthodox. And then you end up reading it and it's like, oh yeah, these people, whatever, so and so is having a kid, not them. Like, well, okay, who cares, right? You know what I mean?
Total clickbait.
Yeah. So we were in my marketing class. What was that? I want to say Wednesday.
Did you talk about clickbait?
No, we were talking. It was funny enough. We talked about just a field study of. So it asked a group of 13-year-old boys to decide whether or not like what should be taught at school. Like these are 13-year-old kids. And funny enough, what does the top one say right here at the top?
NFTs.
NFTs. I'll read the list. I'll read a couple of them. It's NFTs, rap, nutrition, sewing, fitness, and then
whoa. Sewing?
SEWING, right? And Lego anatomy. And cryptocurrencies on there, believe it or not.
Huh.
And helping Ukraine. Look at that.
13-year-olds.
13-year-olds are interested in NFTs, man.
What a surprise.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you see on Reddit the r/places? Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't do Reddit.
Okay, so there's a thing.
I'm 55.
Okay.
I don't even know what the hell Reddit is.
Okay. I'm not too familiar of Reddit myself, but it's like there's a thing called r/places, and you could place pixels every 5 minutes of like a different color. And then there's like a giant canvas. It's a blank canvas, and a bunch of communities will make a bunch of different pictures. So there's like picture of like there's like the thing called the blue corner, or like there's a thing called like there's like a Kobe memorial. There's like a bunch of different stuff. So it's like a bunch of like a whole community coming together to like make these cool little things. I don't know if you've seen it. There's not really too much to talk about on it.
I'm
not a Reddit guy,
and I'm not even sure I understand what the hell you just said. So
okay, all right. Well, then that's it for that topic.
No, so I mean, my curiosity is always piqued. But I'm trying to learn. So I don't. So
okay. So imagine a blank.
Does it
canvas.
require participation from an audience to change the color? So they have to synchronize like hundreds of people.
Synchronize a text. So like, imagine you have a blank canvas, and I have the power to have one of those squares being changed. Let's say it's a 10,000 by 10,000 square.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've changed the color of one square. But now that we have a community, let's say the whole Exclusive Minds community comes together and we draw a butterfly in one of the plots. Let's say 1,000 by 1,000, which is pretty damn big. But everyone comes together and we draw like a big butterfly, and then overnight while we're sleeping, like people across like the country or overseas, like in Asia and Australia that are just waking up, they see and they're like, hey, that was our plot. They start to build over top of it. So it's just like a cool little thing that Reddit has. It's just like a thing that shows community essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was it. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I can't say that I have. I mean, I thought Reddit was like a bulletin board sort of thing,
yeah. It is
a text form, right? Graphics.
They have the it's just like one of those things like you just have to.
It almost sounds like Minecraft, right? Where someone builds something. No, what you're describing to me sounds like Minecraft.
Yeah,
it's like,
think
okay,
Minecraft, but
I built something on the plot of land, and then the next crew comes in and wipes it out and rebuilds something. That's Minecraft.
Minecraft, but 2D. So just a top down Minecraft. And on I guess in the conversation of video games. I mean, you probably did not see this, but there was a cancel culture attack on a kid called I Show Speed recently so I guess I got to give it some more context, and I really genuinely need to find an article. So if you had something to talk about, I could pull that up real quick because I need to make sure I get the details correct. So do you have anything lined up besides the travel stuff? Like, do you have any problems with that? Any complaints?
Oh, God. I always have complaints. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I have an issue with American Airlines right now. They screwed me on my status. So
really?
Yeah, I've had I mean, look, this is kind of a vanity bitch, but I've had status with U.S. Airways before they got acquired by American. So you're talking like 10 plus years. I've had some level of status. Mm-hmm. Status just basically means that sometimes you'll get upgraded, and sometimes you get to board the plane a little earlier than the masses, right? That's really all it is, right? Mm-hmm. But if you travel a lot, it's incredibly valuable because it just alleviates a lot of the headaches and stuff like that. So I've had status forever, but obviously the last 2 years I haven't traveled. So I lost it at the end of March. And so this was the first time I was traveling without status, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way. Damn. Not so much that, I'm flying small planes, so it's just not a big deal. But I don't know. You always want to feel wanted, right? And it's like, Jesus Christ, I've had this relationship with these people for 10, 12 years, and you kind of realize that you are nothing. You as a person are really nothing to
Do you get like
people.
invited to like the lounges and stuff like that? Is that what
I'm never that high. I mean, if you get to the super levels where you're traveling like every week, 3 times a week overseas, you can get bumped into the free clubs and stuff like that. I've always had to pay, but yeah, I mean, it just like I said, it's kind of a vanity thing, but it just really pissed me off because like I said, I'm nobody to these people. I am literally
just another number on the paper.
I'm just a check mark. I mean, I'm nothing. I'm nothing to them, right? I mean, all the years of loyalty to American Airlines didn't mean jack shit.
So
it really didn't.
Was it enough to make you want to switch airlines, you think?
I have to fly out of Philadelphia, right? Philadelphia is almost a kind of a landlocked American hub, right?
Okay.
If I want to fly anywhere, it almost has to be American. So I don't have a lot of choices.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but it would become problematic. And so I just have to kind of suck it up and try and earn back the status the old-fashioned way. And yeah, it just, look, the rules are the rules. It's not like I didn't know it. I wasn't flying, right? And they did extend it a year during COVID, and I guess they just drew a line in the sand and said, we're not going to keep extending. You have to actually, fly and earn it. And
so now you're starting from ground zero?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you'll probably get it back quick though with the amount of traveling you do.
I mean, it's going to take the better part of this year, and you've had it. I've had it for so long. You just get comfortable with it, and unrightfully so, right? I have expectations that aren't fair, right? Because I haven't earned it, but it just really irked me
For sure.
And then I sent them an email. This is the other thing that kind of drives me crazy is I sent their customer service an email and said, hey. I see that I lost my status. I get it. I understand. But look, I've had a decades-long relationship where I've had status. It's important to me as a business traveler. I'm starting to ramp up traveling. You can look at my things. I think literally in the last month and a half, I've flown more than I did in the previous 2 years.
Did they give it to you?
So I said, look, you can clearly see that my travel's coming back, and I value this. And can you extend me? Can you give me a thing? And no response. And I'm like, mother. And so just, the aggravation just was kind of off the charts. I was like, you know what? I don't know. Just didn't feel wanted.
With those big companies, I feel like I never get like a real response in a timely manner, like ever, from like their support, or they just like choose to ignore.
Of course not, right? I mean, you're just calling into a help desk or whatever, and it's just somebody on the phone who's got a script that they have to follow, and they can't go off script. And if they have to escalate it, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, by the time I escalate all this stuff, I'll either be retired or so it's just like whatever.
Yeah, no.
So
sure.
I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. And it is what it is. It just was one of those things that just really frosted me. I was literally just like fuming. Not fuming to the point where I get stupid and start yelling at people who have nothing to do with it, right? Because I've seen people at the airport. Airport is just an amazing place. Like if you just want to see how humanity works, just spend a day sitting in an airport and just watch people. I mean, it's just amazing.
You'll see people of all different things. Like I walked in there. You see people wearing like full-on suits, and then you'll see like another person just like in the complete opposite attire. You said, like falling asleep on the ground or something like that. Like I've never been necessarily on the ground, but I would imagine there's people falling asleep on the ground all the time.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's an interesting thing. I always said if I could go back to college, I'd like to be a psychology major and just do all my papers and stuff on how people act at an airport, because it's amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I couldn't find that article, but I could give you kind of a rundown, and I'm sorry to the people that are more into it than I am. So basically what happened, right? So, video game culture, people talk trash all the time. Like you're on there, they talk trash to you, regardless of age, sex, anything, right? They talk shit. So basically, there's a kid called I Show Speed. He's about 17 years old.
Okay.
So he's a younger kid, but he's like very, very hyper. That's why his name's Speed. And he was talking to a girl that was talking back to him. I don't know if it was like necessarily not talking back, but like having a conversation with. And then she just like was, I guess, maybe yelled at him or didn't yell at him. And he was like, I know a girl's not talking to me, like said all this crazy different stuff. And basically, long story short, people are now trying to cancel him from a clip that I guess surfaced 6 months ago. And it was taken, I guess, out of context, but then at the same time, people were quick to his defense to say that that he's like only 17 years old and he probably didn't know any better. He thought he was like joking with people and everything like that. And for the people that are trying to cancel him, they don't quite understand video game culture because people talk shit all the time.
Oh God. So I am telling you, that's the one thing about being my generation and age that I'm just in love with. The fact that all of the stupid ass comments I made when I was kind of in that age bracket online, even back in the American Online days and stuff like that, that shit happened all the time. And for me, there's no, you're not going to go back and find it. Your generation, man, everything you guys say
or do
is in the record historically forever, right? So I mean, oh God, I'm so thankful that a lot of the dumbass shit that I probably said online is just like long gone into the ancient vapors, right? But I mean, your generation is just hosed because, I mean, come on, man. People say dumb shit all the time. And
yeah, I mean, it was like, if you look at the clip, it was kind of crazy. But at the same time, like okay, so I know that by saying he's 17, that's not a complete excuse. But think of the shit that people were saying when you were 17, or some of the stuff that I even said when I was 17. It's some crazy stuff, and I can only imagine having 50,000 people watching you at every given moment. That someone's going to take a clip, maybe put it out of context or not show the full story, but everything's there to stay. And I guess like you said, like that's just the difference. Like some of the stuff that, said was said back in like when you were that age isn't saved, but stuff that happened when we were, it's like everything's saved. And like, is there a grace period where it's like, all right, that happened so long ago, let that one slide. You know what I mean?
No grace periods.
Yeah.
No grace periods if you're on the wrong side of the equation. Let's put it that way. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just interesting because like it was for one 6 months ago, and for two, like it's a young kid, so
doesn't matter, man. Not in this day and age, especially if you're up against one of the protected classes these days, right? Which sounds like that's what he was hitting on. So it's unfortunate.
Absolutely. But he ended up getting banned off of that game and all the games surrounding by that company. Like it was Valorant and Valorant.
So they banned him for something he said years ago, and
6 months ago. But it was they banned him off of that game and off of their I think they own League of Legends. I could be wrong. I don't know who Riot owns, or who is it? Whatever. Whoever owns Valorant, they own a series of games, right? Yeah. And they banned him off the string of games.
So, I mean, was this kid, like, super popular? I mean...
He's super popular. He's still popular to this day. I mean, they're not really... Like, he's someone that can't really necessarily be canceled, but, like, that's just who he is.
Yeah,
like, you take, like, a 10-second... Like, you look in his stream for, like... Give it, like, 10 minutes. You'll see, like, all right, this kid, he has a high energy. He's, has that dark sense of humor. So, like, you just got to watch it. But people aren't, I guess, that forgiving. Or if they have maybe select... people who they're going to kind of give more lenience to, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh God, I can only. It's just. I mean, I can only
walking on
imagine.
eggshells, man.
Like seriously, I mean, I always think about it. Right? I mean, obviously, we're just. I mean, this is not a very popular podcast, right? So we don't have comments pouring in about you suck. I thought about it. I was like, God, I can only imagine just how much anxiety that would cause if you actually started getting popular and people were just, you go to the comments and you're going to be curious, right? What do people think? And, and there's always going to be trolls in there. And like, how do you handle that? Like,
I don't know. So my whole thing is like, let's say there's 10,000 comments and only 100 of them are hate comments.
Still, those are the ones that always stick out.
They are always the ones that stick out, yeah.
And you're like, oh, God, yeah.
Then you just got to get in your Ferrari Spider or whatever and just drive away and be happy.
Yeah,
or laugh to the bank.
Or you just hire someone to kind of handle your social media so you never actually see it, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Which I'm sure is what a lot of these, big stars have.
Absolutely, yeah, no, for sure. Do we have a update on the clothing? I guess I know that should be more a question for me, but I mean, last week, if I'm going back in the records, Joe, you made a podcast promise.
I know, and I lied apparently because
putting you a little bit on the spot here,
Christ.
Even though it's not your fault.
It's not, and believe me, I am fuming about it. I mean. So anyway, this is what we run into, right? Obviously, when you're manufacturing anything, right? You have a bunch of people in the process, and it only takes one person to kind of muck up the works, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're suffering between kind of balancing speed versus quality, and we were leaning towards the side of quality, and we're paying the price now on the side of speed. So
right,
we don't have clothes. Honestly, well,
we do have clothes. It's just we don't
we don't have them.
Yeah, we do have them, but don't have them, and it's not our fault, but it is our fault because we chose to go this person. Right? Yeah. At the end of the day, and I mean, I guess like you said, all it takes is, I mean, think of it from beginning to end. I mean, it has to go through, I would say, like maybe 3 to 4 different stages, and all it takes is for one of those stages to, kind of have like a week setback, 2 week setback. All right, another week setback, 2 week setback, and now you're out like a month, and it's like, all right, well, we're getting kind of close to summertime.
Yep.
We want to get this stuff out.
Yeah, and this, this is also the lesson about, liking somebody as a person versus business. It's like, okay.
Oh, here we go.
No, I mean, the guy that's doing, he's a likable guy, but I'm like, okay, I can like you all day long, but goddamn, this shit's got to get done. So,
or at least be transparent. Like if you, like you said when we sat down, hey, if you just gave us the heads up, this is going to be this long. We'd have been like, all right, sweet. That would have been fine. We would at least had an understanding
we could have
of
set the expectations and gone. Right.
But this is like a thing where from the moment they were dropped off, all right, this day, okay, gave them grace period. They're talking about the grace period. All right, we're going to have it done this time. All right, I just need 72 hours now. All right, well, you mean the timer's still ticking, so
72 days.
Yeah, right. For real, seriously, man.
Man.
It's I don't know. We'll get it when we get it, but we're looking to get it done soon. I would say this will be my podcast promise. I'm thinking next week we'll have them. By next week.
Yeah, okay. Our word means crap at this point. I mean, unfortunately.
No, you listen. We're 1 for 1 so far. You listen to the Kanye West stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I did listen to that. Yeah, it's aggravating. All right. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's going to get resolved. It's just taking a lot longer than we thought it would. And so the good news is it's giving us the opportunity to kind of evaluate options and alternatives. And
right.
I think as part of that process, we actually have stumbled on something I think is really going to be cool that we're going to do probably the next go around. That's some next generation materials, but designs and colors and stuff like that. So it should be pretty cool.
A bunch of different stuff. Getting ready for summertime. Want to make sure we fit that aesthetic. No, so I guess one quick little rant before, if you have another topic. When was the last time you've been to an arcade?
So I guess I could say just the other day, only because we did an event at, I don't know if you've ever heard of Splitsville. It wasn't actually Splitsville. It was some one of these
like a Dave and Buster's type?
Next gen. Yeah. So we did a corporate event with bowling. And,
fire.
But that bowling alley actually had a big ass arcade, so I kind of wandered through there just to look and see.
Yeah, so we went to an arcade at round one, similar situation, get out drinks, arcade bowling vibe. And that place is an utter complete ripoff, dude. We went there. I spent like $35 on like tickets, and you don't even get tickets from the thing. Everything's digitized now, so you get like a card now. Part of the fun from being a kid, you go to the arcade, go drop the quarters in, whatever, and you get you hit the jackpot. The thing keeps spitting out receipts or tickets, and you would have like a big stack of tickets. Now everything's on the card, and to play a game, so they gave you, when I spent the $35, I think they gave me 180 credits. But one game is like 11 credits. So you know what I mean? It's like you're playing only a handful, and I wasn't really too big into it. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm better off going to the casino where I can spend $35 and potentially win money. We ended up.
Well, I mean, I guess in fairness, right? I mean, you could put $35 on one spin of the wheel, right?
Yeah,
and
walk away,
done in 10 seconds. Where at least in theory, right, you're getting maybe experience. 20 minutes of play or half hour of play.
We ended up walking away with 2 packs of Skittles, and let me think here. What was the other thing? Oh, 2 packs of Skittles and 2 packs of the string sour ropes. So I guess you can't say it wasn't a complete waste of money.
In this day and age, that's like what, $20 for the candy.
Yeah, right for real, dude. Yeah, so that was it, dude. I mean, I would have preferred to have went bowling, but the arcade was, I guess, the next best thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know. I mean, are there modern arcade games, or is it all old legacy stuff like a Centipede Machine or
I'm trying to think. I mean,
Donkey Kong or something.
No, so the games that we played were
Pac-Man. That's what I was.
Pac-Man. No, we played. I like the one where the ball starts at the top and then it's a constant spinning of these little circles, and there's one for a bunch of different prices, but you just click the button and then a ball falls down, and that's how many tickets you get, and then the jackpot's worth $2,000.
Oh, so you're talking arcadey, real, not
arcade
video game arcades.
No.
You're talking arcade
games,
skee ball, and
we played skee ball. That was a lot of fun as well. I mean, me, I'm only going for the 10,000 every time, top left. My friend Wade, he's going for the 1,000. Taylor's going for the 1,000. They're trying to go the slow and safe route. I'm trying to go for the 10K every time. I'm not missing. And it gives you 500 when you miss. So I'm like, oh geez, I have 2,000 when I'm done.
Yeah.
But we did that, and then we played the Batman. I want to get one of those in the house, dude. Like getting like a whole machine just to drive, shift the gears.
Well, you can get that on like the Xbox. Like you can buy one of
like
those.
A whole set.
Yeah, but you can buy. I mean, I was looking the other day. Like even on
Need for Speed?
on the Microsoft Store, you can buy like this $400 chair with like these $200 real pedals, and I mean, so you could literally spend $600 or $700 and get like a full ass, like you're sitting in a car seat, and you got everything, the stick shift and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we could train for the what do they have? The junior division of the F1, the F2.
I mean, I was like, holy mackerel! Look at this, man! It's like wow! It's like legit. Like it reclines, and it's like adjustable sports seats, and I'm like, damn,
it is pretty nice. No, yeah. So I mean, I don't know, something like that in the house would be pretty sick. Or like getting a
Oh, I finished Dying Light last night too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Only took 1 month and some change
About
or something.
A month or so, yeah.
How was it? Like overall review, what are we giving it out of 10?
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's just like every arcade game or video game. I think after a certain point, it kind of gets repetitive, and you're sort of grinding towards the end. And it was really kind of funny because it was like, it took about a month, but I think 3.5 of those weeks was kind of all the grinding stuff, and then the ending was this like,
spoiler.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's an open world game, and then all of a sudden it gets super narrow and kind of on rails, and like it kind of just accelerates you right to the end point where you kill like the last dude, and then it's over, and you're like, wow, that was. Like it was like, okay, that was kind of cool.
Did you end up going to see Morbius?
I didn't get a chance, so I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, I'm anticipating your review for that. I mean, that's I've been seeing reviews all week about it.
I was gonna rent a car when I was in Greenville because I had some time to kill that day, and I ended up not being able to get a rental car because it was Masters Week. And Greenville's close to Augusta, and so you can't rent a car anywhere in the Southeast. So I ended up having the Uber back from the airport. So I was stuck downtown and didn't have an opportunity.
Is that over now?
Today. I think today's the last day.
Is Sunday, Tiger Woods going to take it?
No.
He's washed?
He's not washed, but I mean...
He's not going to take it? I don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. I only know Tiger Woods. That's the only person I know.
No. That's the problem, I think, for the golf is when Tiger's not involved or Phil Mickelson, it's the ratings tank.
Tiger Woods, I saw a thing for him. He only plays if he thinks he's going to win or something like that. I guess he plays.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean,
I don't know. Is that a fair assessment? I don't watch golf at all, so I'm literally going in this conversation blind right now.
I mean, you want as a pro anything? What are you going to say? I mean, I heard that comment because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, he said he's only playing because he thinks he can win." I'm like, what the hell is he going to say? Right? I mean, a guy walks up to Tiger Woods, right? And an interviewer and says, "Hey, do you think you can win?" What's he gonna say? No, I'm just doing it for the money, right? I mean, come on.
Hey, well, so where does So I guess that would be my next question, right? You know more about golf than I do. So are there like teams or how? So where does the payment come from? Because I know he's like a billionaire, right? So these guys are obviously getting paid very fancily. I mean, where does it come from?
So. It's no teams. It's all individual, right? So it's performance pay, which is kind of interesting, right? If you think about it, there's only a couple sports that really have sort of that performance pay, right? So, I mean, in football, right, a great quarterback is going to get $38 million regardless if he wins the Super Bowl or not, right? In golf, if you don't, finish in the top, whatever it is, 50 in a tournament, and there could be 150 people, you get nothing. And the only way you make the serious money is you got to win. You have to win, right? Yeah. If you don't win, you don't get paid. So there's that, and all of that's coming from basically corporate sponsors of the event, right? So if it's Augusta's a little different, right? Because I mean, they make all their money, I think, from television. But I think Augusta's the Masters is usually sponsored by IBM and ExxonMobil, right? Okay. So they, whatever it is, they pay $25 million for their sponsorship, right? I'm sure it's even more than that, maybe, right? But I think there's $15 million in purse money. So, like I said, there's a top 50, and then they break it down. So the winner gets $2 million, and the guy who comes in 50th might get
$10,000.
Yeah, $20,000 or something like that. But you have to play, and you have to kind of get on the leaderboard, and that's the only way you get paid. So, I mean, Tiger Woods and a lot of these sports guys make all their money on the endorsements, right? So, I mean, Tiger might make I don't even know. In his best year, he may have only made like $15-20 million on golf.
Only 15,
like winning.
yeah,
I know.
right,
I mean, I know. But I mean, when you talk about a guy who's worth $1 billion, right? I mean, all of his money is made on endorsements, right? I mean, I think he makes like $100 million a year on freaking Nike alone, right?
Dang,
so
yeah. Well, because so with that, like he has like almost like how Jordan does, like he has a signature shoe or something. Okay, all right,
Tiger Woods clothing and stuff like that.
Nice. Okay, all right. So that helps me understand it a little bit more. I saw
it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing, right? So you gotta be really good and win tournaments, right? So you're making money there to get the endorsements. So it's
I get what you're saying. And on top of that, I saw on Twitter someone was. So I don't know their names. I apologize. There was like a pad here, water in the middle, and the guy hit a hole in one across the water. Like it skipped across the water. And
that was yes.
Was that a?
That was legit. That was a practice round or something. Like that.
Okay.
It wasn't. Yeah, he didn't do that in the middle of the tournament. No.
It was like a hole in one or something. It was super sick. I never seen nothing like that. Like he used the water to like propel the ball.
That was I forget who the golfer is. Pretty big name guy. But yeah, that was a practice round. They were just effing around. So.
Yeah, no, I always wondered that because I never knew where the money came from. Because I know in like we were talking about like F1. F1 there's teams, right? Like you have like maybe 2 cars for Ferrari and 2 cars for that. So I know like it's like you're under the Ferrari branch. Maybe you get salary from that. Golf was a little bit different because you always hear Tiger Woods and then like where does the money come from? You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's all I mean, the majority of that money comes from sponsors and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're a top 100 golfer, you're probably clearing a couple $1 million a year at a minimum, right? So I mean, but it's a small window, and you got to it's approved to pay, right? That's the thing that's really kind of interesting about golf and tennis. Tennis is the exact same thing, right? If you're not winning, you're not making money, you're not making bank, right? So if like you see it. I mean, you see in golf. I mean, golf's one of those things where these golfers get on hot streaks and they'll have like a 6-month window where they're awesome. I mean, like the names probably won't mean anything to you, but like Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth are the 2 recent ones where they had a year where they were just
on top,
the bomb, right? Everything, they were winning everything, and now both of them can't they just can't win anything.
I wonder if that's like a confidence thing. Like
could be,
you know what I mean? Like they feel like they're top, and then maybe when they start losing, they don't feel that they're confident to take that shot or whatever the case might be. And
so I mean, golf is one of those things where there's probably a fine line between kind of having it and then losing it, and it's like, wow, it's crazy, spooky.
I would imagine golf would be one of those things where it's not like football, where you have a long time to play golf. Right?
You could, I mean,
like you could probably stretch your career out 20-something years. I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I mean, Tiger started when he was 17, and
wow, really,
he's 40-something now, right? So,
damn,
and he's still got years to go.
Yeah, has he recovered since like his that accident?
Well, this is his first
one back. Okay,
this is the first one back. So
that's why.
And he seems like he's holding up, other than he's not playing great. But I mean,
yeah. Oh, is he in the top 50? Is that what I imagine?
Yeah, he made the cut. So I mean, what happens? It's kind of weird, right? There, however many people enter the tournament it starts Thursday. It's 4 days.
Oh,
so they play 4 rounds of golf, and what happens is, you might have 150 golfers that start on Thursday, and everybody gets 2 full rounds. So Thursday and Friday, everybody plays, and then for the weekend, what they do is they look and they cut the number. So only the top 75 scorers make it to the
next
weekend, and then they play, and then whoever has the lowest score wins.
Dope, sweet. The more you know. I don't know that.
These are the silly things that matter, right? But yeah, golf's fun, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of exhausted all my topics. I really don't have too much going on this week. Preparing for finals coming up soon. I graduate in a month.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Boy.
Yep.
Trouble
coming up here soon.
And then life begins for real.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to be working on Exclusive Mind in my full-time career. So
let's hope so. Believe me, I wish you
close window here.
I wish you could. That would be awesome.
For sure.
It means we're making money.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I think that was it. Episode 24 in the bag.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I had anything else. I complained about everything. I
got everything off your chest that you needed to get off your chest.
I think so. I'm home this week, so I'll have some time to actually. Think about the next episode. So
cool. Yeah, and make sure to check out our socials.
So we're doing the Cars and Coffee thing next weekend, right?
Yeah, Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So my friend Alex, he's hosting a Cars and Coffee. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area or I guess Chester County area, Lancaster area, it's at Houston Coffee. Go check it out. But we're definitely gonna show up there, give away maybe some stickers and stuff. But I was gonna say, check out our social media because within the next coming weeks, we already kind of started slowly giving out some items on our stuff just by sharing and interacting and doing that type deal. So giving out a couple free stuff the next coming weeks, leading up to the drop. So definitely check out EXMNDS on all socials or EXMNDS.com.
Exclusive Minds Podcast.
There it is. Yeah, we got a couple things going.
Exclusive Minds US.us.
Yeah, and email us for free
magnets.
So yeah,
I think we might have stickers too.
Cool.
But yeah, and then subscribe, share, do all of those things that we always forget to ask you to do that are super important.
Are we still on Rumble?
Yeah.
Dope. I don't even know what Rumble is. I have to download it.
It's like YouTube, but it's like YouTube.
I like the Rumble community. I don't know. I feel like that's like a tight-knit community. They're locked in.
Yes, they are. So, and we get some views over there. Not a lot, but all that is just kind of it's linked to the YouTube thing. So when I post on YouTube, it cross-links automatically to Rumble. So it's pretty easy to do it.
Are they owned by YouTube?
No.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
No, Rumble came about because of YouTube banning everybody.
Got you. Okay.
So Rumble's the free speech alternative.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You judge the way you want to judge, but that's what they're all about, supposedly.
Cool.
So it was just an easy thing to do. It wasn't,
Yeah, right.
Wasn't motivated by politics or the fact that they banned us because we said that COVID doesn't exist or something like that.
Yeah, we did. That was said by Joe. No, I'm just kidding.
We never said any such thing.
Yeah, but no, that was cool. Episode 24.
I've never had COVID, so I'm who knows? But with all the traveling and all the stuff that I've done, it's amazing that I've never had it. And I'm knocking on wood if you can.
I had COVID and mono within the same time frame, and it was god awful. The worst experience of my entire life.
That's what I hear, and I don't want it, so it's not like I'm begging for it. But,
no, not worth it. So yeah.
Oh, so there is one other thing.
Oh.
So I.
Little bonus here for the people that probably tuned out.
So I was in Tampa, and one of the nights we went out to this really cool like food court concept.
Okay,
I'm not even sure how to explain this, but everybody knows what a food court is, right?
Like the mall.
Yeah, where you get like McDonald's and the crappy Chinese food that they're always trying to jam in your face, and
not so crappy if you ever tried the General Tso.
Yeah, well, okay. So, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's usually like, slices of pizza and that kind of crap.
The Sobrano.
So we're in Tampa, and they've got this place, I think it was called Artisanal or Artisan, but it was a converted, like, one of these old manufacturing warehouses.
Oh.
So think of like a, old industrial brick building, huge. And in it is nothing but these little food kiosks.
That's dope.
But every one of them is like super upscale.
Like not typical.
No, they had like sushi.
Okay.
They have like wood burning fires, pizzas, barbecue, like pit barbecue.
That's
coffee,
a cool idea.
Like really fancy coffee places.
Yeah.
There's some bars. There's like some wine things, but really, really upscale. And then they have like all these like nice tables that are all like nice wood and all this other stuff. And but you just go in there and you're like, okay, what do I want?
Where was
it
at?
This was in Tampa. Apparently, talking to some of my friend, our peers, they're telling me that they're popping up all over the place, and
we should open one up out here.
So I guess the closest thing would be that place in Kennett Square.
Yeah, the barn. Or whatever it is.
Not the barn. Right in the main Kennett Square, there's that little place that used to be like a farmer's market, but you can kind of go in there. It's the same sort of concept.
I think I've been there. They have on
a smaller scale.
Do they have the cornhole outside? Is that the one you're talking about? Or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, there's one in Kennett, but it has the same thing. It's the exact same thing. There's a couple different places.
But this was like on steroids. I'm talking like
I would imagine warehouses are huge.
There must have been like 50 different places, and they had like a section that was all dessert places, like ice creams, and
I would imagine it's probably super expensive. Or not fairly priced.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially for that type of stuff. Because when we went, to the one in Kennett, it was like for like an ice cream, like an ice cream cone was like $5.
Yeah, well,
So I was like, Jesus is, you know.
Yeah, well, it's tough keeping people these days, right? So
Hey,
I
man,
guess you got
I would
to pay
imagine.
premium wages to get it. So.
I would imagine.
Anyway, so that was kind of a completely
Yeah, I know, it was good.
some filler, but it was interesting. So if you're be on the lookout for those, I mean, obviously we don't have them here in Philly that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
it was such a cool concept.
Exclusive Minds, whatever that was, the warehouse, but you have to have an NFT to get in.
Yeah, yeah, well,
And you need to scan your barcode to get in, and it's exclusive club.
That's kind of the way NFTs will be going. I think is that'll be your digital key to get in. So.
Exclusive Minds Club, we'll call it. That'll be it.
Exclusive Minds Club.
The exclusivist club.
All right. Anyway, we're out.
Good
so
deal.
this is episode 24.
Go.
We'll be back for episode 25 in a week.
Yep.
We're going to probably try and record that live at the Cars and Coffee in where the hell's that
hopefully.
at? Gap, PA? Is that what
Yeah.
it's at?
It's at the Houston Coffee place. Well, yeah, we'll see what's going on there.
Yeah. So that should be fun. That's it. So peace out, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace. See you.
Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire from my dresser. EXM, who does it better? No, I won't let up. Gas pedal fully pressed, I do the dash to the checks. If it ain't assets, I'm never stressed. I keep it calm and collect. Most of y'all stuck in some debt, and you got bad credit. I learned my lesson, I was young and foolish, now I'm better. I kept my head up through the stormiest weather. Wipe my eyes and focused on where I'm headed. We call that constant progression. If we in Vegas and the option is betting on me, you know we cashing out to the teller. Now let me switch my endeavor, change up my whole approach. Let's have a toast to those who do the most. Achieving goals on the road to their dreams, on the path to the cream, counting stacks with their team, living lavishly, but still actively aware that they can be a casualty. So they don't lack humility and they don't dabble with the greed. Yes, they focused on the plan ahead. They know impact will lead to bread, and the bread equals success and less frets. Got some things to accomplish. When someone hits my line, it's not about some nonsense. We making moves, always grinding, we popping. You know we not gonna stop, and never no option but time, and the perfect time is right now. Not caught up in tomorrow. I'm all about making a conscious decision while I'm living. Make a choice, then I'm committed to that vision. I pivot if necessary. It's scary when you get caught in a position that isn't hitting you down bad because your persistence in the wrong direction. Just learn your lesson, you gotta check it. Audit you and keep on getting better. That's the motive, that's the method. And I'm headed further than I ever thought I could make it. I wouldn't stop unless my pulse flat lines like the doctor lost his patience.